I had been to the Holy Land before, so seeing some of the places was kind of anticlimactic. But I think when you go, you go on a pilgrimage for many, many different reasons. All right? Obviously, the idea of pilgrimage is you move, it's a movement, and hopefully it's a movement that changes you, changes your perspective, changes what you do, and so on and so forth. And I think that I remember the first time I went, very much caught up with, wow, that's where Jesus walked. Wow, that's where the marriage feast of Cana was. You go back the second time, and I think that's very true of the spiritual lives that we lead. I think initially we come across these great insights. And what it does, for example, it makes the reading of the scriptures come to life. But the second time, you approach it on a different level. I found that one of the highlights for me was we were on a boat ride on the Sea of Galilee. And we're sitting in the middle of the sea, which is, the lake is 13 miles by 8 miles. And we're sitting there, and it's calm as a mirror. But to sit there with 30 people in complete silence, reflecting on the reality of where we are, what this means to us, is an experience, and especially sitting on the Sea of Galilee. What I always kept waiting for was one of these storms to come up that Jesus encountered. I was just hoping they wouldn't ask me to walk on the water. But it's...
Maybe it was a mirror.
We'll never know. But there is, as you repeat the experience, the hope is that you get deeper and deeper and deeper. Jerusalem is the old city. If you think about, and the thing that always surprised me too was, Jesus is, on the day of his crucifixion, is walking through the streets of Jerusalem. Now, some of these streets are maybe 6 feet wide. Okay? And you've got merchant shops all along. And you're climbing, and you're doing this, and you're doing that. And people are talking, and merchants are selling. Sometimes you never realize that here is this man having been beaten and bloodied, carrying a cross through this. People not really giving a damn. They go about their own, oh, here comes another criminal. Well, this is 3 for a quarter, 3 for $1, and things just keep going on and on and on and on. And you never realize that something that we take is so significant, originated in a real world situation where Jesus was nothing. Worse than nothing. He was a criminal. And here are these people pressing in. And I can see climbing in some of those places in the city itself, the old city, where somebody had to help him carry the cross. All of a sudden, those things come to light, and you begin to see. And by the way, it didn't help that I was in pain because I have a bad back.
And a back pain, like you were carrying.
Oh, like I was carrying 13 crosses. So even in Jerusalem, just walking the streets, and people hawking you, you want to buy pictures, you want $1 for a bottle of water. And I'm walking through these streets, and to be able to transfer the idea of a Christ suffering, and not that my suffering was anywhere near that, but at least to begin to relate that, as basically nobody gave a damn about my pain. I was the one who was suffering.
Wait.
But, yeah, well, I did have friends who later on, yeah, have a drink, make you feel better. But you're walking in the middle of these merchants, and you're in pain, and of course, it's very hard to not think of your own pain. But you wondered, what in God's name was Jesus thinking as he's walking these streets? Nobody cared. I mean, here's a man who gave himself for others, and life goes on. Not even his suffering made an impact upon the people who actually saw him suffer. So it was all of those things that touched me again. Touched me for the first time, or touched me again for the first time. And then you would go from that to go back to the hotel and sit together with a group of 30 people, pray over food, eat together, and begin to realize that we have to start melding the idea of what it means to be a community and what we would do to either for that community or to create the community. And that's the kind of the tensions that we live. Right? If we are a person of the Scriptures, then we have to be people of community. There are no loners in terms of either Christianity or Judaism. What drives me crazy is people who think it's just me and God and my way to the pearly gates. Okay. We cannot be saved alone. Right? And I think that we're constantly in this struggle to go beyond ourselves and to say, it's more than me, but I am part of this community, and we're all on pilgrimage together. And that's the movement. It's not just 30 individuals, it's 30 individuals in community moving together. And I think it takes going to a place like the Holy Land to bring us back to what is really important. And I'm just reflecting on some of my own experiences this time around.
Of course. And one of the challenges is to give other people space on the group, so on the tour. So when you sit in one bus for 10 days, you really have to come with the right mindset to allow that. So that's the pilgrimage.